Welcome to our 10th book of the Bible, 1 Samuel. Israel is transitioning from a time of judges into a time of earthly kings. 1 Samuel begins with Samuel's parents, Elkanah and Hannah. Hannah was barren. On their yearly pilgrimage to Shiloh to worship the Lord, she prayed earnestly for God to give her a son. So intense was her prayer that Eli the priest thought she was drunk and chastised her for it. She answered, "No, I am a woman troubled in spirit. I've been pouring out my soul before the Lord."
Well, Eli recognized her sincerity and told her to go in peace, that the Lord would answer her request. She went away, no longer sad. She believed that God would answer her prayer. What an encouraging example of taking a need to the Lord and leaving it with Him, trusting that He knows and that He'll answer. Her answer came, and she had her first child, Samuel, which means God has heard. In her prayer, she promised that when God gave her a son, she would give him back to God. And when Samuel was weaned, she brought him back to live with Eli, the priest.
In chapter 2, we see another prayer of Hannah, praising God, recognizing His sovereignty and trustworthiness. In part, she prays, "The Lord kills and brings to life. He brings down to Sheol and raises up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and He exalts. He raises up the poor from the dust. He lifts the needy from the ash heap to make them sit with princes and inherit a seat of honor. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them He has set the world."
The end of chapter 2 looks in on Eli's home life and his sons, Hophni and Phinehas. While Samuel's eager to serve these older men, well, they treat the offerings of the Lord with contempt. Eli rebukes them, but to no avail. God warns Eli that those who honor me, I will honor, and those who despise me, I will lightly esteem. God reveals to both of his sons will die on the same day, and that he will raise up for himself a faithful priest who will do what God's heart and mind guides him to.
In chapter 3, God speaks to Samuel and gives him a vision about punishing Eli for the blasphemy of his sons. Eli recognized that the Lord spoke this to Samuel. Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, establishing him as the recognized prophet of the Lord. No matter the circumstances in our own lives or in the culture around us, God knows every detail. He alone is able to direct us and bring about His plans in spite of the apparent power of those in high places. He is faithful to hear our prayers. I want to be more like little Samuel. When God called out to him, he answered, "Speak, for your servant hears." I want to earnestly pour out my heart to Him as Hannah did, to trust Him, leave my concerns with Him and not worry, and move on with joy that God is going to do what is best. I also want to be just as earnest, having my heart and ears open to listen for Him, with the expectation to do whatever He directs, to respond promptly and wholeheartedly to Him.
What about you? Where did you see God in these chapters? Think about Hannah's commitment to give her only son over to God at such a young age. Could you do that? Would you do that? Well, please share in the comments. We'd love to hear. And we're grateful to be on this journey of hearing from God through His Word with you. So join us again tomorrow, and we'll see more about God, how God's working in Samuel's life. See you again.